Welcome everyone to the Wake Up Call channel. I have to expose this interview from Roseanne Barr because this seems to be the new face of what they consider the truth movement. I obviously talked about QAnon and the hijacking of the truth movement over the years. If you're new to all this, the government infiltrated a movement of truth, and there's gatekeepers in place that keep the actual truth out of the minds of the civilians, or the actual truth out of sight. They gatekeep you with little bits of truth. So you hear some stuff and you say, oh yeah, there is something going on in Hollywood. There are these people that are doing things with kids in Hollywood. They do worship the devil in Hollywood, but they never go further than that because they will not expose Freemasonry or the secret societies, which are intertwined with the Kabbalah. And Roseanne Barr is a perfect example of that. I had mentioned previously in a video that, for those of you that don't know, Roseanne was subscribed to my channel, my big channel that I used to have, right around the time that that channel got nuked. And I have very little doubts that Roseanne was there organically watching my content. Roseanne was monitoring my content and likely reporting it to somebody, thus the channel ended up getting nuked, even though I'm a brand new YouTuber. So Roseanne, over the years, we've seen Roseanne doing the all-seeing eye symbols, the 666 symbols, and most notably, Roseanne credits the Kabbalah for her spiritual transformation. You may notice that Roseanne, even though Roseanne was supposedly canceled from her show, is now one of the faces of the conservative movement. A lot of these low B-level celebrities are the face of the conservative movement. These guys that come out like Dean Cain, these kind of laughable, actors who are in really cringy films. And then people like Roseanne, who is more famous than those people were, but comes out and supports MAGA, shows up at these rallies. This is all done by design. So Roseanne is coming out, and she's talking about Dave Chappelle. She's talking about these secret societies in Hollywood. So I'm going to start with this first clip on a show that Roseanne was on. And keep in mind, Roseanne Barr admits to practicing witchcraft. The Kabbalah is a book of witchcraft. Freemasonry is tied in with the Kabbalah, the Knights Templar. Okay, this is ancient Egyptian philosophy, which really at its core is black magic. These are witches. These are Satanists. Okay? Remember, Knights Templar pretending to be Christians, really worshiping the Baphomet in secret. I covered that where Friday the 13th, the real origins of that day come from. But this is Roseanne on one of these alt-right media programs called The Benny Johnson Show. It's enough to make anyone cringe. They show a clip about Chappelle, and everybody knows the story of Chappelle, and how Chappelle went off to Africa, or he left the country, then came back. A lot of people believe he was replaced. There's a lot of truth to that. But listen to this story about how somebody visited Chappelle. And oh my goodness, somebody visited Chappelle, and what did they say to Chappelle that made him run away? And there's these people in Hollywood that are giving orders to these celebrities to tote the company line, right? Listen to this, and then we'll talk about it in more detail. And of course, this is Little Truths. This is what I talk about, little truths, right? Ooh, there is a man behind the curtain. I guess there's some truth to these conspiracies, but they're never telling you how this all rooted in the Kabbalah and Freemasonry. They want you to think that this is rooted in just evil Democrats, evil liberals. Conservatives hijacked, liberals hijacked. They're both the same thing. Different head of the same snake. Listen to this interview clip.
And you were speaking to another legendary comic on your podcast, and it kind of shocked the world what you were talking about when you were diving deep into the industry and talking about forces that could come and knock on your door and get someone like Dave Chappelle to move continents, right?
We were filming a movie, and he also had a lot of pressure from HBO and or not HBO, Comedy Central, and all this shit, right?
The worst bunch of people on earth.
Horrid.
Mm-hmm.
He then, while he was on the show, when it was blowing up, and we remember the Aspen Comedy Festival? I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. I did that too.
He came there, and he was freaked out.
Yeah.
I said, "What's going on?" And all I could say is he was visited.
Yeah. That's what I think too.
What?
And when he told me who visited him, my heart stops for a second. I'm like, get up. And I'll never forget, he went, "You believe me, right? You believe me, Jim, right?" And I could, he's like, "They came to me." And he said the names. I'm like, get up. And what happened? And then all of a sudden he went to Africa.
Yeah, that's what I remember happening.
What's that about? Like, so he's talking about Dave Chappelle there, and he's, Dave Chappelle, one of the most famous comedians on earth.
Yeah.
Gets visited by who? Roseanne, you've been in Hollywood for quite a long time, and you know the system as well as anybody. Well, that clip went thermonuclear, but I've never seen a follow-up to it. Can you kind of unpack that for me?
Well, you got to be real careful. And I try to be careful, and I try to speak in code because, like I say, I have a large family. And, I can't remember his name that's sitting in prison right now, Trump's one of Trump's advisors.
Peter Navarro.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, there is a black power structure that, we're supposed to be ignorant about and never speak of. But they're part of the whole power structure too. It's not just all white people. There's a black component in it. And they have a lot of power, and their power comes from policing their own. And that's their job, is to police their own in Hollywood and in the media. And it's the same with Jewish people. I'm Jewish. And we have a Jewish power structure that polices Jewish people in Hollywood too. So we have to answer. You'd think that they just let the audience decide if we were funny or good, but no, they don't, because we might say something, and that saying, one spark can set the whole woods on fire.
Yes.
Well, we might say something that sets the whole woods on fire in people's heads, and they have to guard against that because they don't want people to witness or be aware or know, because their whole thing's based on secrecy. And they've kept it that way for thousands of years. Secrets are how they keep power.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting because there is truth to that. I'll tell you all about it right now. There is truth to that. What she's referring to in Wound Exposed when she talks about black orders, pretending, of course, that these black people that are coming, a black organization giving orders to Chappelle, that she can't talk about this specific group, that she has to speak in code. Roseanne Barr speaking in code. Pretty funny, right? I haven't seen her YouTube channel taken off the internet. But Roseanne is referencing Freemasonry, the Prince Hall Freemasons. That's the black order of Freemasonry. This is not a white thing or a black thing. This is a Satan thing. Skin color doesn't matter to them. They want you to think that skin color matters to us, regular civilians, so that we can stay divided on these types of issues. They're the ones who create the stereotypes. They're the ones who feed you all this racial crap day in and day out, make everybody a victim on any side of the... That's what they do by design. These people don't see skin color. They see globalism. They see world domination. That's what they see. That's what the devil sees. So Prince Hall Freemasonry is what she's referencing, right? And Dave Chappelle is a part of that. He's a part of that club. He didn't run away, and Dave Chappelle didn't run and hide because he was intimidated by a mysterious group. He wouldn't have become famous in the first place. And the Prince Hall Freemasons, I've covered them many times. I showed you recently Whoopi Goldberg, right? On national television, wearing the coat for the Prince Hall affiliated coat that she wore, or he wore, on national television, right? Didn't expect people to notice that. So Roseanne Barr, this is the best part of the clip here. I'm going to play for you, okay? Roseanne Barr, who you could see here posing in her home in front of her black and white Masonic checkerboard. This all ties into the Kabbalah, the same one she credits for saving her life. Listen to Roseanne talk about how there's people, this makes absolutely no sense, right? Because this is a Jewish world order. That's what this is, right? She's trying to pretend now. This is exactly what I've warned about. She's doing what? She's playing to MAGA, playing to Israel, the current state of Israel, the hijacked Israel from the Balfour Declaration. She talks about how they came to Dave Chappelle and told him to go after the Jewish people in his stand-up skit because Hollywood doesn't like the Jews. Hollywood doesn't like Israel. Maybe the biggest I've ever heard in my life. Hollywood was created by these specific people who are run out of every single country, okay? And put in this specific spot in Hollywood to create this propaganda machine, this communist order. All ties back to the same people that Roseanne's affiliated with. But why is Roseanne saying what I'm about to play for you? Roseanne's saying it because her job as a gatekeeper is to herd conservatives / Christians in with Israel. That's the deception that you're not allowed to wake up to. Listen.
That's where we're living. We're living in ugly, horrible, upside down, backward world, backward day every day. And it's hard to see your way through it. And if you do see your way through it, if you're a brilliant comic like Dave Chappelle, he got messaged, and then all of a sudden he started talking about how bad the Jews are. I put it together because there is a party line that you have to acquiesce to. And Democrats don't like Israel, and they don't like Jews unless they're leftists. But that's part of the whole take down and take over of the American soul and mind.
So all of a sudden, apparently, the Jewish people are hated in Hollywood, the same ones who run and control Hollywood, right? These same mystery, it's unbelievable. And people hear this stuff and like, yeah, they're really after them. They're really victimized. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible, right? This is them lumping together Christians and the state of Israel, the industrial complex, the industrial compound that is the current state of Israel, the war machine, making you think that when referenced in the Bible that it's this current state of Israel. And Hollywood is going to gatekeep Christians into that because they're going to lead them completely into getting in bed with the synagogue of Satan. What the 501c3s never talk about the synagogue of Satan. How often do you hear any church ever talk about it? Ever. Never. They never reference it. Do they? Well, because they'll lose their 501c3. They'll lose their tax exemption if they do. Every single church has to be in bed with the current state of Israel. Every church has to support Zionism. So if you're not familiar with Roseanne, okay, again, talking about the Kabbalah, the book, okay, the teachings in the Kabbalah are the same teachings they learn in secret societies. This is the stuff that goes back to ancient Babylon. The Templars, the Freemasons, this is what they follow, okay? It teaches that Lucifer is God. That's who they worship. So when they say God, they mean Lucifer, right? They don't mean our Father, Yahweh, in the Bible. They mean the God of this world, the devil, Lucifer, Beelzebub. And Roseanne has been picked, like a lot of these people are told which side to side with and how they're going to be able to work and manipulate their audience into what they want to work and manipulate them into. And this, for Christians, is to get them in bed with the synagogue of Satan themselves. Roseanne, I showed you those pictures earlier. If you didn't see this clip, I got to put it in here too. I showed you those pictures of Roseanne, putting the hand over the eye, doing the 666 sign. Roseanne, of course, like all these government agents who pretend to be victims. Oh, they canceled me and I'm worth millions and millions of dollars and I could speak freely online. I'm Roseanne. I'm censored, right? I'm censored because I'm Jewish all of a sudden. Huh? None of it makes sense. It's amazing that people actually listen and believe these liars. They're professional liars. That's what an actor is. But here's Roseanne trying to push off, poo-poo, the fact that Roseanne does these all-seeing eye symbols. Like she just showed up somewhere and they're like, put your hand over your eye. And all these people just do it because they have no idea what it means. They think it's peekaboo, right? This is how dumb they expect the audience to be. And it works on these people. These conservatives believe it because these people like Roseanne tickle their ears and pretend to stand for truth, and they don't. Listen to this lie.
Black. I got a black eye. Remember that when I was at Kathy's house?
Yeah.
From hitting the back of my head. It was weird. And then I was, I showed everybody. I took a picture. They're like, oh, she's in the Black Eye Club. I mean, saying I was a Satanist and shit. Sometimes people, well, I don't know. It's some kind of ritual they do, and they all got a black eye.
Oh, but sometimes people, you're saying something.
Sometimes you just fall down and hit your eye.
Yeah.
You can't go, that's what I was saying, that they just go way too far with it. Like one time I did a magazine cover and the lady had me hold something over my eye. And I go, why would I want to do that? And she goes, just everybody does it. I go, okay. Yeah. So I held a button over my eye, and now it shows all these people doing that. And they say they're in the Satan Club. Well, I just did it because the photographer told me to.
Yeah.
And they probably did too.
Right, so you showed up at a photo shoot, you put your hand over your eye, and, there's nothing to be suspicious about, right, Roseanne? I mean, you got to be kidding me, right? They all do it. The photographers are all part of it. Okay? Yeah, the photographer does ask them to do it. They don't go there and tell the photographer what they want to do. But the photographers are only in those. What are those photographers there for? We're supposed to believe that they press the button on the camera better than other people out there, right? The whole notion of being a photographer for the stars, right? What do they press? They say smile and cheese better than other people, so they get to take all the pictures for GQ and all the magazine shoots because they're all in the secret societies. And all the pictures are them doing the all-seeing eye, the 666, the black and white Masonic checkerboard floor. Those are all the secrets they gatekeep from you. Then they talk to you like you're dumb if you start waking up. So some people are waking up more and more. So these people who are gatekeepers like Roseanne, they come out and they just go, oh, no, that's not what it is. Oh, the leftists, the Democrats hate Jews. What? Every single Democrat is one. That's why this whole thing going on with Palestine should be waking up civilians who are now supporting Palestine. This should be waking them up. Because if they're researching and they're paying attention to what the people over in Palestine are saying, they're talking about those books that you're not allowed to talk about in the United States of America, while our own government is passing bills to make sure that you don't talk about those books. It's incredible, isn't it? So Roseanne comes out, again, little bits of truth. You saw the guy Benny Johnson. I mean, laughable, right? These guys are uncensored. This is what they want out there. I talk about this. Left-right paradigm. He's got a poster behind him of Biden and Trump. This is the formula. These guys are out of a factory. They're out of a laboratory. They talk the same. He acts shocked. He's like, I can't believe it. Some secret people came to say, yeah, the same secret people you work for, Benny Johnson. Nice name, by the way. Surprised it's not Benny Greenblatt or Greenberg, right? And he goes out there and he goes, oh man, I can't believe. And then the audience is like, wow, there's really some people there. Yeah, and it's the Democrats. Oh, it's the Democrats. You mean the Democrats who work with the Republicans? As long as you keep everyone in this left-right paradigm, well, you'll get paid handsomely and you'll be rewarded for it. That's what these people are there for, to keep us divided. So unbelievable. Comes out, talks about, there's a black power. There's the black and there's the Jewish. It's all one and the same. They don't see skin color in these secret societies. Like I said earlier, they see brotherhood, fellowship, all under the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. Okay, they keep us divided with this other crap of race and gender. That's their doing. That's their mechanism so that we attack each other instead of exposing them. And people like Benny Johnson and Roseanne, they never, ever, ever talk about Freemasonry, the Kabbalah, what the Kabbalah really is. People hear it, they're like, oh, it's a Jewish book, the Kabbalah, right? These are the same people who would say, hey, Madonna's a Satanist. Look at Madonna. She worships the devil. Oh, yeah, and what religion does Madonna openly practice? Oh, the Kabbalah. Where's the bracelet? Right? Tucker Carlson wears the bracelet. All these people wear the bracelet, right? Now start talking to us about the Kabbalah and what's in it, about Lucifer being God, all this stuff that's intertwined in Freemasonry, the secret societies, how they've networked to take these positions of power in our government. Oh, they can't do that. Why? Because if you figure that out, then this whole thing gets stopped. And they can't have you figure it out, which is why they have to gatekeep, just like Roseanne is doing there. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you and your families, as always.